So I just got an iPhone 16 the other day, and it's kind of motivated me to check out the shortcuts. And I made a couple, and they're pretty cool. Anyways, something I do is I review music, and like basically anytime I listen to a song or an album, I try to give a rating on it. But something that happens, and something a lot of artists do, this is why I'm on Morgan Wallen, is a lot of artists don't write their own music. And what I do because of that, if it comes off lazy, let's say I give it, just for the sake of simplicity, let's say I give it 100 score and it's perfect. But then I find out they didn't write their own music. So I subtract 30% of my score to get a new updated score, and that's what I post. And it represents, the lack of writing credits. So if I gave some 100 after 30% taken away, it would be 70 as the updated score. Now, usually I'd give the score more in like the 60s and then subtract 30%, and then it would end up in like the 40s or 50s. But I just gave 100 because it's easier and I don't have to do math. But Morgan Wallen released a new album, and I'm going to try to listen to it. But it's 37 songs. Now, what I do with albums, let's say it's a 10-album song, or 10-song album, but 4 of the songs on it weren't written by the original artist. So let's say I give it a 74, but then I find that out. So that means, all right, what I do, I take 40% of my score, because 40% of the songs on the album weren't written by the original artist. I subtract 30% of the score from that little 40% section. That probably doesn't make any sense. Trust me, it does. I just don't know how to explain it properly. The thing is, it's a kind of a pain in the ass to try to figure that out manually, especially because this album has 37 songs on it for some reason. So I did some brainstorming, right? I wrote everything down, and then I went to my good old friend ChatGPT. And the only reason I did this is because, like I said, I'm new to shortcuts and I don't know what I could do with shortcuts. So I just had ChatGPT spit out the exact commands I use and everything, so I don't spend an extra hour just figuring out or having to figure out what I'm supposed to do. So I fed it everything I wanted to know, and it spit all this out. And I basically just followed its directions. And I'll show you guys. This is it. Really not a whole lot, just a bunch of variables I had to set just to make it easier, which in hindsight I probably didn't have to do. From what I could tell, it kind of, it could have figured it out just using the numbers. But anyways, I tried it out and it gave me negative 88,000. And I actually recorded this, but I realized it didn't record any audio, so I can't show you. So I realized, I think it was towards the end. I don't know, it was this right here. I had this as a multiplication, so I had to change it to a divide. And that's it. But anyways, now I could run it through. So I'll use my example from earlier. Let's say it's a 10-song album, but 4 of the songs on the album weren't written by the artist. I initially gave it a 74 as my rating. But I want to take 30% away from that 40% section that wasn't written by the artist. And by the way, the 30% doesn't mean anything. That's just what I thought was fair, because it does take effort to sing, I guess. But it is kind of, it's not super honest, because they always try to pass it off as their own song. So anyways, let's see what it does.
Yay, your new, updated, adjusted for laziness score is 65.12.
There we go, 65.12. It works. And spent about an hour on that to save myself like 5 minutes in the long run. I just added a little bit at the end to round it up. So I'll do the same thing. 10 songs, 4 of them weren't written by the person. I gave it a 74.
Yay, your new, updated, adjusted for laziness score is 65.12. Rounded to the nearest number, your new rating to post is 65.
Yeah.